across the sea of life, so much pain. Warring divides, it's a shame how it can be. All we need to smile at one another, all we need is love.
Assalamu alaikum, welcome to another week of The Y Factor.
I'm Miran.
Amatullah.
And today we have a guest on the show called Tasneem.
Assalamualaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
You'll not be receiving the same voice that Miran has been giving you for the last couple of weeks, but you'll do with me.
Yep, she's got her signature voice. Mashallah, everyone keeps commenting about, and she's going a little bit red at the moment, but that's okay.
It keeps our show going.
Okay, enough about me. Let's focus on the news. Okay, today is February the 9th, and we will do a little bit of an update on the Middle East since last week's focus was on that.
There has been some changes this week.
Yeah, in Egypt, the people are still protesting until now. Of course, some people have gone back to work, but you've had quite a lot of updates over there, actually. The government has offered to give a 15% pay rise working in the government sector. There were deaths. There were journalists having their licenses revoked.
Some of them were shot dead.
Yep, one actually that we know about, but there's probably others that haven't really been officially announced.
They also sent thugs from the prisons coming in on horses and camels. Very unique way to...
I felt like I was watching
Unique
that.
way or Egyptian way?
Yeah.
No, I felt like I was watching that movie, you know, Ar-Risala, the one about the Prophet ﷺ's life.
Back in the Jahiliyyah days.
You know, all they needed was a sword.
Well, they kind of
someone
did
to
have
start yelling kuffar.
Well, these people on the horses and camels actually started to attack the protesters, and they were said to be Mubarak protesters. So I don't know where these protesters found horses and camels, but
they drop out of heaven.
Yeah,
just for the government's sake. Well, I'd like to let you two know that you're very lucky you live in Australia, because I think Australia has a good immune system. Now, funny I say that because there's a study that has shown that revolutions are actually contagious. John McManus, a military historian at
Missouri University,
has said revolutions can sometimes be contagious. The take-home lesson from history is that you always have no idea what's going to turn out, and that's kind of the scary part. And as we have seen, they are contagious, from Tunis to Egypt to Syria to Yemen
to Jordan to Iran.
Now, Algeria and Bahrain have actually announced that they'll be having protests as well. So, yeah.
Doesn't look like many people are happy in that region, eh?
No, but you know, their region is filled with unrest due to the people being unhappy. Closer to home in Australia, we have our own sorts of tragedies and turmoils, but they're more of a natural disaster type.
Non-government afflicted, we hope.
Non-government afflicted, no.
Well, there has been a fire in Perth. This fire is, it wasn't by arsonists, so
it wasn't deliberate.
That's right.
We're talking bushfires, by the way, not a little fire by the camp.
Well, it is pretty big. It's 68 houses have been destroyed today and 32 have been damaged. Fire crews are monitoring the situation and they're saying it's under control at the moment. But Perth Hills and other suburbs should be careful, especially southeast of Perth. So inshallah, we do hope that these fires can be contained and won't turn into another disaster like how we've been seeing in Queensland and the like.
Yeah, what is wrong with Australia? There's just natural disasters just going.
It's one of the signs of the Day of Judgment, isn't it? When you have this many
natural disasters.
You know, I actually heard the Premier of Queensland saying God is not happy with us. That's why the Queensland floods and that's what she said. That was her comment.
Maybe we could use that as a bit of a wake-up call for ourselves and start looking into what we could fix and what we could do. And you know what? I've started having little imaginary plans where I think if something...
Not again.
No, seriously. I mean, those people in Queensland, in Perth, in Victoria, were they really sitting there expecting something to happen to their homes?
I think we're very lucky in New South Wales. Alhamdulillah, so far we haven't had anything that tragic today, and I think you're right, we should appreciate what we have. But I think for us, the youth at the moment, as we were discussing a couple of episodes ago, that these natural disasters are eye-openers for us, because alhamdulillah we have the comfort. You know, we're living the life under air-conditioned conditions, but what are we doing for other people? So it's a time for us to get out there and help.
And help people, definitely.
The Y Factor.
There are tough new laws coming into place to ban all mobile phone use, and this includes hands-free devices. The government is saying that it increases the risk of crashing.
Yeah, mobile phone use in cars.
Yes,
you can still use your phones on the street.
I wouldn't be surprised if in a few years they stop that too. But
So
For
much
now,
freedom of speech, police states.
50,000 drivers were fined more than $11 million for calling, texting, reaching, and even touching their phone while driving. You can't even touch your phone? Seriously?
I
Well,
think
you
instead of the tax, the flood tax, they should just.
No, but I personally agree with this, and I think it's very
Yeah.
reasonable because so many accidents have happened from mobile phone usage.
I'm just wondering-
looking over to see who's calling. Like, I'm not going to answer the phone. I'm just going to look at the caller ID.
Yeah,
And then it's your
definitely.
parents, and then the crash comes.
Oh,
No, but I wonder if that applies to the hijab hands-free when they have
Yeah, you know,
the
you always
mobile
say
inside the hijab.
that's so funny.
That moves us on to another local story. This one's in Cronulla. A man and a teenager have been badly beaten up with baseball bats and metal pipes.
Ouch.
Yeah, this happened on Cronulla Beach, and
Do we know what nationality?
the news report actually does not mention any ethnicity at all.
That's unusual for the news.
I don't think they have very much information. They're just saying that they're 18 and 17-year-olds, and they're asking that if you have any information, please do call the police. But that's pretty much all we have on that one.
But they're saying that they were approached by 12 armed teenagers.
What are kids doing with that amount of weapons and... Well, I mean, baseball bats, obviously playing sports with that. But
Yeah,
what are you
sure.
doing with a metal pipe? Where do they find this stuff? I don't know.
Well, in other news in Australia, the Afghan government has conceded that it cannot guarantee the safety of any of the failed asylum seekers. I know a couple of episodes ago we actually spoke about this,
Yeah.
the refugees being forced to return. And it's just a really, really sad situation because the Afghan MP Mohammed Ibrahim Qasemi said Australia should think twice about deporting unsuccessful asylum seekers. If they send them, we cannot guarantee them and we cannot guarantee their safety, basically. That's what he said. So it's really sad these people, subhanAllah, they risk their lives, they give all this money. And if they weren't honestly genuine, why would anyone go through the deadly conditions to just arrive here just to be sent back? So inshallah that goes well with them.
That's truly worrying.
The Y Factor.
In Australia, Professor David Kennedy from the University of Western Australia, he's never visited Saudi Arabia, but he came across 1,977 potential archaeological sites in Saudi Arabia. So this included 1,082 ancient tombs shaped like teardrops, okay?
By using Google Earth as his research tool.
Yeah, definitely.
So he's pretty
And
much never been to Saudi Arabia. He found these just by
Maybe
going
he
on
should
the
say the
internet.
Shahada and he'll be let in the country.
Maybe. He was saying that there is restrictions, but he's also saying that he believes that they may be up to 9,000 years old. So these are archaeological sites.
Well, maybe when the oil runs out, they can start a tourism industry.
Maybe.
Or is a potential? It's pre-Islamic things that they found actually. So
So maybe it's around Noah's time or something.
who knows?
I don't know.
The Y Factor.
This time in Florida, a Muslim man was attacked during a Friday night discussion on religion. When I say attacked, I actually mean he was stabbed.
So it wasn't the usual drama queen.
No, he was stabbed, and apparently he was stabbed right after he said he was a Muslim. So the report says that he was pretty much stabbed because he was Muslim.
Well, that's interesting you say that because with this Islamophobic attitudes as of late, David Cameron has come out and said that multiculturalism has officially failed in Britain, and he wants Britain to develop tolerance like the Netherlands. So tolerance, not multiculturalism. So we'll see.
I hate that word, tolerant. It's like, oh, you have to put up with us.
someone, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
that's disgusting. We're part of this country, or
Don't take it personal, Tula.
Like, it's annoying.
We are speaking of Britain at the moment. But no, you're right. Tolerance does have that negative tinge to it in terms of, I have to put up with you. I have no choice. But we'll see where Australia follows suit. At least we're not during the Howard years.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know why
Pauline
everyone's so
Hanson.
against multiculturalism. I think it's a pretty cool concept myself.
like they get to eat all our food, try our culture. So, well, you have to put up with us.
As in every culture gets to try every other culture.
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
I think in Dubai there's a place where they have mini cities that are
Yeah.
modelled on every country in the
Yeah.
world.
Global village, it's called.
It's kind of like here we have, Cabramatta's kind of like Chinatown and
Lakemba's like the Arab world.
Auburn's a
All
bit
right,
of
stop
a
stereotyping. Next
Turkish
episode, thanks.
area. I think that's nice though.
I think it's nice because if you're starving and you just don't want to eat, mash, you can go experience other things.
Speaking of being stereotypical. Anyways, in Jeddah, there have been a few expats meaning foreigners working in Saudi. So these people working in Saudi are saying that there are no mosques that deliver Friday sermons in their languages, and they're quite upset about that. And I think they have every right to. One lady from an Indian background told Arab News that the whole point of a sermon is to understand and spread the word of Allah. Okay.
Rather than saying Ameen and not actually knowing, you know, what you're agreeing with or what you're praying
Well, closer
for.
to home, we can identify with some,
Yeah, definitely.
some mosques, some lectures and stuff.
You know, I think I personally have been taking it for granted that I can hear sermons in English in Australia. I mean, even though it's only certain mosques that do it.
That's right. It's a privilege.
Yeah, it definitely is. I never really thought that, you know, in other countries there might not be that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, there's such an opportunity to give half an hour or an hour. So much people can take away from it.
No, it's
every
a shame
Friday.
that it's not in their language.
Yeah, like people could really learn from that half an hour.
You
so.
could, it doesn't even have to be in their particular languages. It could be in English because I'm pretty sure everybody.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a very
uses English.
the most universal language.
Exactly.
Well, in different news, this is just, you know, a heads up for those planning to celebrate Valentine's Day. A man who was 29
Bid'ah.
years old. Sorry?
Bid'ah.
Oh, Bid'ah Day, that's it. A man who's 29 years old in Germany was trying to affix a sign on a motorway bridge to mark the 10th anniversary of his relationship with his wife.
How cute.
Now, that's very cute, but this is a fatal end. I think his wife must have been making dua at that time for like 10 years. But anyway, so he was trying to put this sign that had his name, her name, and the phrase 10 years to the bridge. And as he was doing that, he tragically fell to his death, and he was squished by at least two vehicles.
Oh, that's so sad.
So, ladies, please don't make dua against your husbands, and men, take it easy when you have, you know, random.
They're trying too hard.
Yeah, just
Do
don't
you
try
know,
too hard.
actually in Egypt, on the Corniche, there's in Alexandria, the city is based around this Corniche, right? And my mom was saying once there was a lady and she was taking her wedding photo on the bridge, and she accidentally, I don't know what
Fatefully.
happened, she fell back and fell into the water,
Yeah.
and she drowned in her wedding dress and everything.
That's
So
So just be careful if you want to do some outlandish things for Valentine's Day.
I guess now we have to think twice about romantic gestures.
Not just that, the guy in Tahrir Square that had his Katbik Dab done, and the other one.
In Egypt, yeah, they got
Yeah.
married in the middle of the protest.
And the whole 10,000 people were there, made the
That's
dua for the marriage. It
but
was-
I thought it was so cute. Their wedding photos were in front of the army tanks.
Yeah, she looked pretty dressed up. I mean, you know, she must have stocks of makeup.
You know what it is? They spend years planning their weddings,
Yeah.
and it takes forever to find a booking, and so much money goes into it.
Yeah.
They probably were like, I'm not throwing all that away. I'm going to get married come hail, rain, or something.
or protest.
Well, congratulations to
protest.
them. Just, you know, this Valentine's, our audience, please be safe.